It's 2026 and you're thinking to quit or not to quit your job. Come to the right place. Hi, I'm Wendy. I recently quit my big corp tech job at Google 3 months ago after spending 8 years there. Or in general, 14 years in corporate. Yes, I finally got the guts and the bravery to break from what I thought I was supposed to be, especially as a 36-year-old woman, where a lot of societal norms try to make you think that you're supposed to have these certain things like be a wife, have kids, own a home. Like, fuck that shit. So, yeah, I'm making this video to hopefully have some people feel less alone, because I think these societal norms could be very detrimental to folks and their mental health, especially women. So anyway, but this video can be applicable to you, whatever background you have. Let's be real. Corporate America could burn you the fuck out. So here are some signs that I took to quit. Number 1, burnout. I felt so overwhelmed with all of the work I had to do. I couldn't sleep well. I was having health problems. I couldn't sleep for like 3 months because I was constantly thinking of like, did I send that email? Did I put in that PO? Blah, 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 blah. I know that's maybe a lot to do with how you can control your emotions and your mental health. I feel like work is a big part of stress. And you can try your hardest to manage it, but sometimes it could get very overwhelming, and that's not your fault. 3, explode. There are a lot of times I felt like I wanted to explode over the most menial things. And I feel like a lot of that came out of feeling misaligned with my work. Like, I felt like anything I did didn't mean anything, especially when I felt like the world was burning around me. Especially when I felt like working for the company that kisses fascist asses and contribute to AI for military use that kills innocent people. Like, I don't want to be a part of that. And it was a very hard decision because this job gave me a lot of luxuries that I didn't have to think about. That now I don't regret it, but, and woe with me. Wah, big tech girl. Now she has to live a life without those comfortabilities. But I do want y'all to consider a couple of things. If you work for a company, they pay for, or for most of them, they pay for your health insurance. I mean, at California, you can get covered through Medi-Cal, but it's taking a long ass time to get approved, and there were some issues here and there. But if you make a certain amount, you have to pay a premium. It used to be like the lowest was $311 under Kaiser, and then I saw it almost double. It's like $500 a month if you make over a certain amount. I forgot what it was. I think it was like 60K, 30K, whatever. But yeah, because also when I worked at Google, they fed me every day. And now I gotta go to Trader Joe's and cook my own meals. Wah. I actually don't find that much of an inconvenience. I actually really like it because I get to cook my own meals. I know what's going in my body. And I like that kind of meditative feeling of making my own food. Another huge thing to consider before quitting your day job is income. You see a lot of videos, I quit with no backup plan, no money. I don't recommend that. I didn't do that. I saved up enough to pay rent for the next few months, year if I wanted to, and my costly expenses. So if you want to get specific, my monthly rent is $3,080. My monthly spend is about $2,000 a month if I'm good. So I have to have like $5,100 a month to live comfortably. I don't want to move back in with my mom. That is an option. I'm grateful, but I moved out for a reason. Love my mom, but we have political differences of opinions, and I'd prefer to maintain our relationship and not live with her. Love my mom, but I'm trying to really bet on myself. I think that's another huge thing before you quit. I don't think you have to be that clear on what you want to do, but I do think you need some type of clarity of like, okay, I'm quitting my 9 to 5. I never want to go back there again. And I'm going to give myself 6 months to do content creation, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is. I think you really have to plan out and give yourself a timeline. For me, honestly, I just wanted to just to be. Like, I feel like we're often obsessed with what's next, that we can't just be. So I'm super grateful that I don't have to be in survival mode. I feel like my ancestors, my parents had to survive the Cambodian genocide and all the shit that they had to go through for me to live comfortably. Okay, so I am doing my ancestors proud. I hope. But yeah, really consider your finances. Like, don't quit blindly without any income, because when you don't make any money, damn, it's hard. Like, even though I have a cushion of, like, I've lived 14 or so years of constantly having an income, constantly having money coming in, having a routine of like, okay, I work 40 hours and I know that I'm going to get this paycheck in 2 weeks or so, whatever, and that my healthcare is taken care of. I got food on my table. My car payments are taken care of. So that has been a bit of a struggle, I think, mentally. Financially, I'm paying things off. I'm good. I'm not in debt. But I did recently get hit with tax on my stocks. Fuck. I didn't tax my stocks for the past few years, and the IRS sent me a little letter that you owe this much. I have the money to pay it, but it set me back quite a bit that I didn't expect. I kind of expected, but didn't. Yeah, those are real tricky bastards. Fuck taxes. Another huge thing to consider and also not consider is public opinion. If you want to quit your job, really be solid in that decision for yourself. Make that decision for yourself, not for anybody else. Don't be afraid of what your mom, your parents think, your friends, your family. You have to be so sure and confident in your decision that you did that for yourself, and you know greater things will come. Because you're going to have everyone in your ear, don't do it. And it all comes from love and care. Like, for me at least, I know that a lot of people really, really cared about making sure that I felt safe and my financial situation was secured. But you just have to say, hey, with love, I know y'all care, but you ain't paying my bills, so you don't really get an opinion what you say for me. Thank you, I love you, but please, I'm good. So I think it wasn't that big, but it was something that was in my head. I think that's why I kind of pushed off quitting for a bit. I kept pushing it back because I was like, oh, do I really want to do it? Which I think it's fine. I don't regret that. But yeah, I actually waited till my stocks vested the most at the end of September to quit. So think about things like that too if you work for a big tech. I think that's pretty important if you want to like get as much cash in before you quit. You know in your heart what you need to do. And I think we need to stop living in fear. I know that for myself. For a long time, I thought that I had to live comfortably within the system and just put my head down and do all the right things to live a comfortable life for the rest of my life, then retire, and then die. That's not how I want to live life. For me, I know that I'm destined for so much more, and emotions. I felt like I downplayed myself to live this life I thought I was supposed to live. In my 3 months of not working, and I think there was a study that if you're burnt out, it takes about a year or 3 years to get unburnt out. I'm not trying to wait that long, so I'm really doing the work on myself. I'm not in therapy. I've been in therapy off and on for 10 years. I feel like I already have the tools I need to succeed, and I'm pretty strong mentally. If anything I've learned in these past 3 months, it's been up and down. I'm not going to front. I haven't been super solid, but I would say that I proved to myself that I'm pretty mentally strong. Even if I'm not making income right now, I don't think that proves my worth. People are like, you have to work, you have to keep going. And like part of me, I do feel like sometimes I will look at job openings and I'll apply here to there. But I'm not super fixated on that. I'm really taking time for myself to get clarity on how do I want to live the rest of my life. I turned 36 last year, and I feel like I've already lived half of my life. I don't want to live that long, to be honest. I'm like, if I'm a vegetable and I can't wipe my own ass, pull the plug. Pull the plug. But I had to be really honest with myself, and how do I want to live the rest of my life? How do you want to live the rest of your life? Think about that. I know that I want to live the rest of my life with integrity. I want to live so deep in alignment with myself that I'm proud of the life that I lived. I'm proud of the life I've lived so far, but I know that I can be deeper in alignment with myself, because when I'm not, I know what that looks like. And I know it looks like burnout, low confidence, feeling like life's not worth it. And that is a really terrible feeling to have. So if you feel that way, it's time to quit your job. But be smart about it. Plan it out. Gain some clarity what you want to do. But yeah, if your job offers a mental health leave, I suggest take that first. Last year, I've been burnt out for a while, but last year was kind of the peak of it, where I couldn't sleep for 3 months. I was experiencing effects from long COVID, and it was fucking up my brain. And I took a 3-month leave, mental health leave, and luckily that was fully paid for, the 3 months I was off. And then when I came back beginning of last year, I realized it was the same shit. So then I realized, and then after my friend died of liver cancer, I gained a lot of clarity that life is unpredictable and short, and life is truly what you make of it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video. Hopefully that was kind of short and sweet, and I hope it helped you gain some clarity. Maybe let me know in the comments below if you want more in-depth on like more of my process and how I planned quitting and more of my thoughts. I was vulnerable here, but I know I could get more vulnerable. I truly hope that you live a life that you really want to live, because you only have one life. Thanks for listening. Tune in next week. Peace easies. Wendy Sashimi.